Hi and good afternoon, welcome to my channel today. This is my video. We're going to be making this lovely little ribbon holder designed by the very talented Linda Parker, who's papercraft with Crafty on YouTube. I loved her design and I thought I'd case it and make this version of it with the Magnolia Lane DSP. So today I'm going to be making the exact same box. I mean, this box holds 6 reels of ribbon, which is the standard size Stampin' Up ribbon. I'm going to be using the bigger, wider reels this time because that's what I need my ribbon holder for. But the principle is exactly the same. So let's get on and make this box. I mean, as you can see, it's nice and sturdy. What we're going to need for this box is a piece of cardstock that measures 11 3/4 by 8, 2 circles or 2 designs to whatever I'm using circles, which for the layering circles die set, and that's the second to largest scalloped edged one. Then you're going to need 5 pieces of DSP which measure 4 by 1 5/8. Yeah, 1 5/8. So let's get on and start the scoring. Now I'm going to use my new trimmer to do my scoring. So I'm doing it here. Just pop that, nice and easy. I like this because I can see what I'm doing and it gives a lovely score line. So we'll just pop that on there. We'll start with, I haven't got a lot of space, so let's bring that into view again. Right, so this has got trimmer's got 2 things on it. You've got the blade, which is the dark one, and the scoring tool, which is the lighter one. So we're going to do our first score line at 1 7/8 of an inch, and you just butt your cardstock to the edge and it should come up nice and straight, and then you just score. Then we're going to go 3 3/4, 5 5/8, and these are lovely to see, lovely score, easy to see score lines, so you can pop your cardstock on there and have no problem finding your point that you need. 7 1/2, 9 3/8, and 11 1/4. Now I will put all these measurements on my blog, which I'll leave the link to below, so you can grab the dimensions and everything on there. Right, let's turn that in. Now on the short side, you're going to score 1 7/8. You're going to turn your paper 180 degrees, so the score line's now on your right hand side, and you're going to score 1 7/8 again. And that's your scoring done there. I don't know if you can see how clean these score lines are. When using this tool, I've found it to be indispensable, and it goes up to 17 inches, which means you can do A3 projects as well, so it's a nice handy size for it to be. Now just going to fold and burnish all these score lines. I do excuse the noise in the background, that's my husband talking to my daughter. And just make sure your score lines are straight and everything. Sorry about that, hubby come in. So yeah, score and fold and burnish all your score lines, making sure everything lines up straight and it's all as it should be. You know, we can all travel off on our score lines, or move the paper slightly as we're scoring. Let's just fold that like that, and making sure it's all straight, as I said before. But folding button, it's got a hair on that. Let's get rid of that. Just making sure they all line up. Turn that around. And there we go. Fold and burst all the score lines. Now, using these snips, we're going to remove, and that so you can see, this triangle, this rectangle and this rectangle. So we're just going to snip up there and along there, and along there, like so. That's that bit. Now, to make this, we're going to then trim up each one of these score lines to the score line there. So we're just going to follow the score line with our snips, cutting up to the score line. So trim right in the middle of your score line if you can. Just makes for even boxes. And these snips are very sharp, so they do get right into the edge of the cardstock where you need it to be. And they cut right to the end without any trouble, so they're like absolutely brilliant, these snips. Alright, let's put that away, we don't need those anymore. Now, we're going to add our DSP to our cardstock. Now I'm going to do this very quickly. I'm using wet glue. You can use tape, you can use wet glue, you can use tape, you can use not fast fuse, snail. I just like wet glue for things like this. I think it gives a better bond and lasts longer. So we're just going to apply that there and pop these bits of DSP on, giving a nice even space around the edge. Now I've used very vanilla with mine. I just think it just gives a nice contrast to the whisper white of the paper. It's up to you what colour you use. You can use any coloured cardstock, and it's quite a versatile little box. You can make in any colour. You can make them in colour coordinated seats, so you've got red ribbons, pink ribbons, white ribbons. You can do it any way you like, to be honest. I mean, I'm just making, I just love this DSP, so that's why I'm making mine out of the Magnolia Lane, which is a gorgeous suite. Now if you notice, I've actually missed a box out. That's deliberate, I'm not making a mistake. That's the base of my box, so I don't want to put DSP on there. If you want to, you can, it is up to you, but I just think it's a bit of a waste of time doing it when it's just going to sit on the bottom. and I want my box to be nice and sturdy and steady. So, and I've used the thick Very Vanilla just to give it that extra bit of strength. You know, you can get the thick Whisper White as well, which is just as sturdy as this Very Vanilla, as you'll see. Or you can use standard cardstock. The choice is yours. So I've been working on different Christmas cards. I thought I needed a little break from what I'm doing, and I thought I'd deal with my ribbon mess, because I've got them all in a tin at the moment, which is overflowing. So just deal with the mess, and I can keep them on the edge of my desk, nice and handy for when I'm working. And it keeps the ribbons tidy as well. One thing I'm terrible for is unreeling ribbons half unreeled on the desk and then knocking them on the floor, and then they do unreel. As you see, I don't have a lot of space on this desk for crafting. So that's all my panels on, all adhered. Now you are going to need a couple of glue dots. This tip from Linda Parker was absolutely brilliant. There's my glue dots. There they are. It was an absolutely brilliant tip to help give your box its shape. You're going to need to use a couple of glue dots just to hold the panel together. Now I'm going to put one there, and one there. And I'm not pressing very hard. I don't want a very good seal. I just want it so it holds while I'm making my box. Now what we're going to do, we're going to tuck all these ones in. And we're going to find the base of our box. There's the base, and this panel and this panel are the top of our box. So there's the free edge, and the panel there and the next panel to it are a free edge. So we're just going to tuck those down that way just for a minute. We don't want them in the way because we're not going to be using those just yet. What we're going to be doing is we're going to just carefully line up our opposite flaps. Let's put some glue on there. Now I'm using wet glue. You can use tape. If you are using tape, do be careful and not press down too hard. The joy of wet glue is you do have time to manoeuvre. So I'm just going to pop that together. Now I'm going to use the flap there to line up. Let's see if I can line up my thing. Right, that's not in the right place. So let's just bring them together again. That's better. So now we're going to, now I know that that's in the right place, I'm just going to put some glue on the inside of this. And just as before, line it up before sticking it down. Just gives it that bit to hold on to. I'll just give it a second to hold. And then this should line up perfectly. Yep. So I'm just going to add some glue to this bit here. So I'm still not touching my corner there. Now I'm just going to, once again, take my 2 free edges and just make sure that's all lined up, because we want it to line up when it's done. Just give that a second to hold. As using wet glue bonds the fibres, so it makes for a very strong hold. As I've said before on other videos, these are strong holds. Alright, let's have a look how we're going to do this. Right, so we're going to line that one up there, and that one lines up there. So what we're going to do is that is half of that. So just add glue to half of that. Just line that up like that. Just make sure it's all lining up before you push down, and then just hold that there. Now, I just want to make sure that's holding before I flip it over. Alright, so we're going to flip that over and we're going to start the process again. So we're going to find our 2 flaps that make our top. So that's the flap next to the joint, and then the next one. So just fold them out of the way for the minute. Now, because we've done one side, it should be easier to line up the pieces for this side. So using your glue again, or your tape, whatever you're using, start layering your pieces up. Just hold that for a sec. Hope you can see what I'm doing alright there. Go there, and then line this one up. Right, that one's not lining up, so we just need to squish our box slightly. Right, that's better. And just as you're doing it, just make sure everything's lining up as it should do, as you want it to. You don't want to have wonky sides. Hold that together for a sec. And then using the last side, that's coming across there. So we're just gonna hold that together like that, giving it a chance to set, mesh. Then we'll just line up our sides again. Just add your glue to the corner there, or you tape to that corner. You do not want to run it over because you don't want it sticking down to the other bit. So let's just make sure that's lining up. That's there, and that's there, and that's it. Just hold that, give it a chance to join together. And this is just hold, like getting it to hold. So just think. Now we're going to go back to this other side, and we're going to add glue to this part here. So we're just going to add glue there, because our circle does cover most of this box. So just added it to the free edge, and I'm just going to center my circle, my scallop circle, touch that down so it holds. We'll go back over, and then do exactly the same on this side. I'm just going to center that on there, let that take grip. Now we're going to come back to our opening. Now I want to be very gentle opening this up, so I'm just going to get my pokey tool, because I want to open this up very gently, because I don't want to pull my cardstock apart or rip my cardstock. What I want to do is just very gently lift away the card and remove the glue dot, which doesn't want to be removed by the looks of it. Definitely doesn't want to be removed. There we go, that's one. Put that there for a sec. And that's two. So now we're just going to get a bit of scrap cardstock. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to just rub down this so it's nicely holding on there. So just give it a good rub with your fingers or your bone tool, just to. Then I'm going to get some ribbon and pop some ribbon in here. So I've got some wider reels this time, so I'm just going to pop them in there. Got ribbon on the wrong reels and everything. So I'm just going to pop that in there. That's a broken reel. That's all right. Let's find the end of the ribbon. And now, as you can see, they're sitting here lovely. They're nice and secure. I'll get one more in there. Use the scalloped one in here. I think that one. Or is that just one bit too wide? Oh no, that fits fine. That's fine. Right. So now we're going to get a scrap bit of card. Just going to take it to the edge and then trim off the excess. Don't want to. Oh, right, let's clear away this rubbish. Alright, so using a pencil or pen, you're going to mark the centre of each ribbon reel roughly. I've managed to get 5 in here. As I said, I've got 5 of the wide ones, and I've got 6 of the narrower ones in this one, so it depends on what size reels you're going to be using as to what size what the amount of reels you're going to get in there. So it is going to be relative to your project. Now, from the free edge, you want to mark 3/4 of the way up. On this side. And that's just a guide mark for when I hold my bit of paper to the box, because what I'm after is just putting a dot where I need to punch my holes. Now, I've used my 1/2 inch hole punch. It's just nice easy size hole punch. So I've got my marks on there. I'm just going to go in and find my dots, put them roughly to the centre of my punch, and just punch out the hole. I'm just working my way along, keeping that hole to the centre, a dot to the centre of it, of the punch. That way I know that it's nice and even. Now just rub out just marks at the side, and then pop your ribbon through. Oh, it's come out quite a way. So let's just pop that in there, that one in there, that one in there, that one there, and that one through there. Now the ribbon runs through this 1/2 inch hole. Lovely. It's not, doesn't snag or anything. Oh, hold on. Doesn't snag. Just runs through nicely. So it runs nice and easy. And that is my take on the Linda Parker ribbon reel storage box. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed making your own. You can decorate it up. I'm going to leave mine plain because I'm going to leave them sitting on my desk side by side. Right here actually, so I can just grab the ribbon as I need it. And yes, that is the Linda Parker ribbon reel box, and that is the end of my video. If you've enjoyed the video, please click subscribe. If you need all the measurements, they will be on my blog. I will post the link below. And thank you once again. Right, bye.